November 1941. Coney Island, Brooklyn, Half Moon Hotel, 6th floor. The sun hasn't risen yet. The street is quiet, dark. Only a yellow light seeps from one window. Inside, 3 police officers. They are smoking cigarettes, standing guard. Their official duty to protect a man. Their real duty to kill him. 7:10 a.m. The hotel manager rushes into the lobby. His face is white as a sheet. There's a body outside. Where? On the roof, the kitchen extension. The manager goes outside. He looks at the roof of the 2nd floor. There, a man is lying there, on his back, motionless. There's blood. He approaches. He recognizes him. Abe Reles, from the 6th floor. A protected witness. A man under police protection. He calls the police chief. Come quickly. Reles fell, from the 6th floor. Dead. 10 minutes later, the detectives arrive. The scene is examined. There are 2 sheets next to the body, tied together, like a 6-meter rope. It should have been tied to the window, but it isn't. It's just lying on the floor. The detectives go up to Reles' room. They open the door. 3 police officers are inside. They seem shocked, but their eyes say something else. Not fear, relief. The window is closed. The lock is secure. No fingerprints, no signs of struggle. This window wasn't open during the night, the chief detective asks. The room was your responsibility. You were here all night. Didn't you hear anything? No. No noise, no screams, no sound of the window. Nothing. The detective looks again. The window, closed. The sheets, 6 meters below. The 2nd floor roof, 12 meters from the 6th floor. The physics don't add up. The rope is 6 meters. The man could have fallen to the 4th floor there at most. It's impossible for him to have fallen to the 2nd floor from there, but the body is there, on the 2nd floor roof, dead. The news spreads. By noon, all of New York knows. Abe Reles is dead. Fell out the window. No one believes it. Reles didn't fall. He was pushed, thrown, or killed, and then thrown. Doesn't matter. The result is the same. The protected witness is dead. But why? Who was Abe Reles? The answer is simple. He wasn't just any criminal. He was a member of Murder Incorporated, America's deadliest hit squad. And he was talking. Names, dates, murders. This death wasn't an accident. It was a message. Talk, and you die, even under protection. But how did it come to this? Why did Abe talk? What really happened on the 6th floor that night? The answers lie a decade earlier. The 1930s, Brooklyn, Brownsville. Abe Reles wasn't Kid Twist yet. He wasn't famous. He was just a street kid known with big dreams, and those dreams would kill him. 1930, Brownsville, Brooklyn. A poor neighborhood, Jewish immigrants, Italian families, Irish, narrow streets, old buildings, rusty fire escapes, garbage, urine, tobacco, the smell of poverty. Abe Reles was born on one of these streets, 1906. The date is unimportant. What matters is the place, Brownsville. Hell for ordinary people, heaven for criminals. Abe was short, but strong. Broad shoulders, thick arms, thick neck, a fighter's body. His face was ugly. Small eyes, broken nose, thick lips, a perpetually angry expression. His eyes were cold, dark brown, almost black. When he looked at people, they felt uneasy, because there was no mercy there, no fear, no conscience, only calculation. Who was weak? Who was strong? Who could be killed? Abe killed his first man when he was 15. No one knows who it was. It didn't matter. What mattered was what Abe felt. Nothing. He went home. He ate. He slept. He woke up in the morning. Life went on. It was like he had killed a bug. This was noticed. The criminals in Brownsville saw it. This kid is different. He was born to kill. In the 1930s, there were powerful figures in the neighborhood. The most important chum was Louis Lepke Buchalter. Lepke, well-dressed, calm, polite. His appearance was deceiving. Lepke was a psychopath, cold, calculating. He controlled the unions, the labor organizations. His partner was Albert Anastasia, tall, strong, Italian, violence in his eyes. Anastasia loved to kill. Lepka was methodical. Anastasia was wild. They developed an idea, simple and effective. A professional murder organization. An order comes in. A target is chosen. Killers are sent. The job is done. Money is collected. They needed the right men. Cold, ruthless, loyal, quiet. Abe Reles was perfect, cold, talented, and he loved to kill. 1933, Brownsville, a basement, Lepka, Anastasia, and 15 men, all killers. Abe was the youngest, but the coldest. Lepka spoke. "You are now an organization. No questions asked. The target doesn't matter. Cleanliness matters. Leave no trace." Money was discussed, 500 to 5,000, depending on the job. Risk was asked. If you get caught, you don't talk. If you talk, everyone dies. The meeting ended. The men dispersed. Abe stayed. He approached Lepka. "I'll do a good job." Lepka looked him in the eye. "I know. You're different." That night, Abe couldn't sleep. For the first time, he belonged somewhere. This wasn't a street fight, it was real business. The next day, Anastasia called. "A shop owner. Not paying. Kill him." Abe did the job that night. 11 o'clock. The street was empty. He approached from behind. He pulled out his gun. The man turned around. Abe fired. Once, twice. The man fell. Abe checked his pockets. He took the money. It looked like a robbery. He walked away, calmly. The next day, the newspapers wrote, "Killed during robbery. No suspects. Case closed." Lepka was satisfied. So was Anastasia. They gave Abe $500. The jobs increased every week, sometimes twice a day. The targets changed. It was enough to be sure they were dead. Within 2 years, Abe had killed at least 18 men, maybe more. He didn't count. Murder Incorporated was born. The journalists gave it its name, an organization, a killing machine, and Abe Reles was at the center of that machine. But as the machine grew, it attracted attention. The police noticed. The FBI noticed. The murders were too similar, too professional. This was no coincidence. There was a system, and it had to be found. 1937, Brooklyn District Attorney's Office. William O'Dwyer was sitting in his office. His desk was piled high with files, murder files, hundreds of them, unsolved, professional killings, no suspects, no witnesses, no evidence. O'Dwyer was 40 years old. His eyes were tired but determined. Someone was behind these murders. He had to find them. His assistant entered. "A man wants to see you." He didn't give his name, but he's scared. The man was brought in his 30s, thin, pale. He kept looking over his shoulder, rubbing his hands, sweating. "Your name?" "I can't say." "Why?" "They'll kill me." "Who?" "Murder Inc." O'Dwyer leaned forward. "Go on." The man spoke, slowly at first, then faster. "There's an organization. Hired killers. Lepka and Anastasia run it. Brownsville is the center. Give me names. I can't talk. No one can protect me. They find everyone." "Then why did you come?" "Be careful. These people won't stop." The man stood up. There was no more information. He left. A week later, someone else came. This time, a woman, a widow. Her husband had been shot on the street 3 months earlier. "Who did it?" "I don't know. But I know who ordered it." "Who?" "Kid Twist and his men." "Kid Twist?" "His real name is Abe Reles. My husband worked with them. Then they had a falling out. A week later, he was dead." "Will you testify?" "No. I have a 10-year-old daughter." O'Dwyer was alone again. 2 witnesses, both scared, but they named names. Abe Reles, Brownsville, Murder Inc. The investigation began, quietly. Follow-ups, surveillance, wiretaps. Abe was at the center. Leader or key player, didn't matter, maybe he'd talk. But Abe was careful, no phone, no notes. Everything face to face, coded. The police were watching, but he was always clean. Brownsville, Midnight Rose's candy store. Front was a candy store. Back was a meeting room. Martin Goldstein, Bugsy, Abe's closest partner. Over 20 murders. Abe planned. Bugsy did the work. Harry Strauss, Pittsburgh Phil, handsome, dead eyes. He loved violence. He tortured people. Abe didn't like that, but Phil wouldn't listen. Harry Mayone, happy. He was never happy. Grumpy, but loyal. These 4 men were the core, the most feared. Even the police whispered their names. 1939. The investigation had stalled. No one was talking. Those who talked were dying. September 1939. Another murder. George Rudnick, shot in the street. But this time, there was a witness, a woman. She saw the license plate of the getaway car. Incomplete, but enough. Records were searched. 3 vehicles came up. One belonged to Abe Reles. O'Dwyer felt hopeful for the first time. There was a concrete link. It wasn't enough for court, but it was a start. The surveillance intensified. Every step was recorded. The files grew, but there was still no witness. Someone from the inside was needed, someone brave or scared. O'Dwyer waited. Patiently, everyone had a limit. One day someone would break. All he had to do was wait. February 1940. It all started with a tip, an anonymous phone call, a male voice, young, scared. A man will be killed. Tonight, Brooklyn, behind Duffy's Tavern. 11 o'clock. The police usually didn't take these tips seriously. They got dozens every day. Lies, jokes, a waste of time. But this time, a detective stopped. 30 years of experience. The voice was different. There was fear. "Let's go," he said. "No harm done." 11:30 at night. 3 police cars approached Duffy's Tavern. They parked far away. They waited in the shadows. 11 o'clock. Nothing. The street was empty, silent. 11:15. A car arrived, headlights off. Parked in the back. 2 men inside. The engine was running. 11:15. Second car, faster. 3 men. One got out, opened the door of the first car, got inside. An argument started. No voices could be heard, but the bodies told the story. Tension. The detective looked through his binoculars. Darkness. But one face was clear, short, broad shoulders, big nose. Abe Reles, definitely. "Get ready," he said. "Wait for my signal." The argument grew, shouting. Then bang, a single gunshot. Then silence. "Now!" shouted the detective. Police cars rushed forward, sirens, red and blue lights. The men tried to run, too late, guns drawn. "Get down! Hands up!" Abe ran, he sprinted. A cop tackled him. They fell. Abe resisted. More cops arrived, handcuffs. "I didn't do anything," he yelled. They looked in the first car. A man in the back seat, motionless, dead. Abe didn't speak. His lips were sealed. His eyes were angry. 2 more men were handcuffed. They remained silent too. They were all taken to the police station. Separate cells. Hours of interrogation, not a word. Omerta, but there was evidence. The body, the gun, gunpowder residue, blood. It was undeniable. 4:30 in the morning. The phone rang. Abe Reles was caught. First-degree murder. The evidence is rock solid. O'Dwyer smiled. For the first time in months. Finally. He went to the police station. He entered the interrogation room. Abe was sitting across the table, motionless, his face like stone. "Mr. Reles, you're in big trouble." Abe didn't look up. "I want a lawyer." "Of course, but let's talk first." "There's nothing to talk about. A man died. In your car. With your gun. What will the jury think?" Silence. "First-degree murder. The electric chair. Sing Sing." Abe's face was a study in calculation. "But there is an option," said O'Dwyer. "You talk. Everything. Murder, Inc. Lepka. Anastasia." Abe raised his head. He looked up for the first time. "What happens if I talk? Protection. New identity. Reduced sentence." Abe laughed, a bitter laugh. "They'll find me anywhere. We'll find them before they find you." "Safe?" Abe shook his head. "You don't know. Then what will you do? Go to the chair?" A long silence. "My family," said Abe. "Protect them. I guarantee it. Put it in writing." "Agreed." Abe closed his eyes. Something broke. 20 years of loyalty. "Okay," he said, "I'll talk. But if I die, this deal is off. Understood?" The stenographer was called. The recording began, and Abe Reles talked. For hours, for days, for weeks. He told everything. Murder Incorporated. The murders, the names, the dates, Lepka, Anastasia, Bugsy, Pittsburgh Phil, Happy. The meeting places, the clubs, the houses. The police listened. They wrote, they recorded. It was an information bomb. March 1940. The raids began simultaneously in 10 different places. They were all caught, one by one. The news spread. Abe had talked. Kid twist. The coldest man, the most loyal man. He had broken Omerta. May 1940. Brooklyn Court. Trial day. First defendant, Pittsburgh Phil, Harry Strauss. Charge, first-degree murder, 9 separate murders. The courtroom was packed. Reporters, onlookers, police, FBI. Everyone wanted to see it. A historic moment. Murder Inc. was on trial. Phil sat at the defense table. He wore a suit. Clean, neat. But his face was tense. His eyes scanned the room. He was looking for someone. Abe Reles. The prosecutor stood up. "We call our witness, Salvatore Reles." The side door opened. Abe entered. 4 police officers escorted him. 2 in front, 2 behind. He was protected. Very protected. Because everyone in that courtroom wanted to kill him. Abe walked to the stand, head held high. He didn't look at anyone, especially not Phil. He took the oath, sat down. The prosecutor approached. "Mr. Reles, do you know Pittsburgh Phil?" "I know him." "How do you know him?" "We work together." "What kind of work?" "Murder work." Whispers in the courtroom. The judge banged his gavel. Silence. "How many murders did you commit with Harry Strauss?" 5, maybe 6, I can't remember. The prosecutor opened a file. "Let's look at the names. Irving Feinstein. Yes, we did that job together." "The date?" "October 1936. How did you kill him?" "Bullet. Then we buried the body." "Where?" "New Jersey, in a forest." The prosecutor continued. Name by name, date by date, detail by detail. Abe told everything, in a cold voice, emotionless, as if he were reading a grocery list. Eggs, milk, bread, murder. Phil's lawyer objected. He protested, but to no avail. The evidence was strong. Abe's testimony was clear. The jury listened. They reached a verdict. Guilty. On all counts. Pittsburgh Phil, sentenced to the electric chair. A month later, another trial. Bugsy Goldstein. Same scenario. Abe testified, gave details, named names. The jury reached a verdict. Guilty. Electric chair. Then Happy Mayone. Same. Guilty. Electric chair. Then Louis. Lepka. The most important one. The leader. The boss. The big fish. Abe testified against him too. Lepka hired me, paid me, gave orders. How many? Hundreds. Maybe over 1,000. Lepka organized them all of them. The jury said guilty. Lepka was going to the electric chair too. But Albert Anastasia was different. The evidence was sufficient. Abe testified. Same details. But Anastasia's lawyers found other connections. High places. The jury was divided. They couldn't decide. Retrial. But the retrial never happened. Anastasia was released. When Abe heard this, his heart sank. Anastasia was out, free. Abe was a dead man. He knew it. He knew it for sure. Security increased. FBI and police. 24 hours. They put Abe in the Half Moon Hotel, 6th floor, room 623. Constant surveillance, constant watch. Cops outside the door, inside, in the hallway, everywhere. Abe began living there. He was a prisoner. He wasn't free. He was in a cell. Just a more luxurious one. He couldn't go outside. He couldn't see anyone. He was alone, completely alone. Days passed, weeks, months. The trials continued. Each time, Abe testified. Each time, the fear grew. Because each testimony created more enemies, more execution orders, more death threats. The nights were the worst. He couldn't sleep. He had dreams, nightmares. The men he killed, their faces, their eyes. Blood. Blood everywhere. He would wake up, drenched in sweat, his heart pounding, unable to breathe. The police heard him, his screams. "Abe, wake up, are you okay?" Abe didn't answer. He just sat there, in the dark, his head in his hands, shaking. September 1941, the executions began. Pittsburgh Phil was first. Sing Sing Prison, the electric chair, the Green Mile. Phil walked, calm, head held high. He didn't say his last words, he just sat there. They strapped him in. They put the hood on. They pressed the button. Phil's body tensed, it convulsed. Smoke came out. The smell of burnt flesh. 10 seconds, 20 seconds, it was over. Pittsburgh Phil was dead. A week later. Bugsy, same chair, same process, same end, dead. The Fall March 1944. Louis Lepka, the final execution. Lepka was crying as he walked. He was begging. No. Please, no. It was useless. He was seated in the chair. He was strapped in. He was killed. Murder Incorporated was over. It had been destroyed. They were all dead, either in the electric chair or in prison or on the streets. All of them. Only Abe remained, the sole surviving witness, and Albert Anastasia, the only free leader. November 1941, Half Moon Hotel. Abe was still there, still under protection. But the protection had slackened. The trials were over. The convictions had been handed down. Abe was no longer so necessary. The threat had diminished, or so it was thought. Abe noticed. The police weren't as vigilant as they used to be. They were slacking off. Sometimes they slept. Sometimes they went out to play. Cards, dice, money. Abe watched. He waited. For what? He didn't know. But he sensed something. Something bad. November 11th. Night. Abe couldn't sleep. Again. He went to the window. Looked outside. The ocean, waves, dark waters, distant lights, ships, freedom, escape. The door opened. 3 policemen entered. "Reles, get up." "What happened?" "We said get up." "Where are we going?" "We're going to talk." Abe got up. He was scared. But what could he do? Nothing. They went out into the hallway. There was no elevator. They went to the stairs. Up, to the roof. "Why are we going to the roof?" "Shut up. Walk." The roof door opened. Cold air. A sharp wind. A November wind. Freezing. Abe shivered. He was only wearing his pajamas. Thin fabric. Insufficient. One of the policemen approached. "Reles, you talk too much." "I know." "Yes. And now?" "Now it's over." "What do you mean?" "It's over. Don't you understand? Anastasia sent us." "No." "Yes, he paid a lot of money, a lot of good money, and we accepted." Abe backed away. "You can't do this. The FBI trusts you." "The FBI doesn't give a shit. You're useless now. The trials are over. The convictions are in. You're worthless now. A dead man." "Wait, I can give you money. Lots of money, whatever you want." The cops laughed. "Anastasia's money is better. And he's alive. You're going to die. There's a difference." Abe tried to run. Too late. 2 cops grabbed him by the arms. They dragged him to the edge of the roof. They looked down. 6 stories. Concrete floor. Death. "No!" Abe screamed. "Please! My family, my children!" "We don't care. Anastasia says hi." They pushed. Abe fell. through the air, his arms flailing, his legs kicking, screaming, but no sound came out, only the wind. And then, thud, the sound of impact, the sound of breaking bones. Abe fell onto the second-floor roof, the kitchen extension. He lay still. Blood began to spread, from his head, from his body, from everywhere. The police looked down. Is it over? It's over. Good. Let's go. They came back, to the room. They took sheets, tied them together, brought them to the window. But they didn't tie them up, they just left them there, on the floor, like evidence. Abe was trying to escape. He was making a rope. He fell. Simple, believable. They slept. Morning came. They discovered Abe. They were shocked. How did it happen? We don't know. We were sleeping. We didn't hear anything. The window was closed, but he died. We don't understand how it happened. The investigation began, but the outcome was clear. Accident. Abe Reles fell while trying to escape. Tragic. Unfortunate. But an accident. No one was guilty. The case was closed. The newspapers wrote other things. The canary could sing, but he couldn't fly. Police conspiracy, FBI investigating. But nothing happened. No one was arrested. No one was charged. 3 police officers retired as rich men. New houses, new cars, vacations in Florida, Anastasia's gift. Anastasia himself, he lived another 16 years. Until 1957. Then he was murdered too, at the barbershop, Park Sheraton Hotel, while getting a shave. 2 masked men entered. They shot him. Anastasia died, just like Abe, betrayed, murdered. No one was arrested. Today, Abe Reles died 84 years ago. Pittsburgh Phil ended up in the electric chair. Bugsy was there, happy too. Lepka too. Anastasia, in the barber's chair. Murder Incorporated is gone. The files are closed. The names are in the archives. Abe talked. He gave names, he gave dates, he gave murders. He lived another year, maybe 2. Then, the 6th floor. Night. A window in concrete. Phil didn't talk. He stayed loyal. He sat in the chair. The electricity came. The outcome didn't change. That night, Abe fell. What he thought in the air. No one knows. Maybe nothing. Maybe everything. We know little. Abe took his secrets with him, under the ground, along with those he killed. Kid Twist, the talking man, the very talkative man. In the end, he fell silent, from the 6th floor to the concrete, permanently.